Sorry to be late, but there's a few things that have come home. One of the things that have come home is this, but the more important thing that's come home is this. Danny, it's come home, and we're here to celebrate on tonight's version of the Sunday Roast. Welcome to the Sunday Roast with Mike and Danny. This is Danny, and this is Mike, and we're kind of strange. We're in the tub, and we drink a lot. At least one of us does. This is not Mike's body, but that is Danny's, and that's really gross. Thanks for watching the Sunday Roast. We love our fans. And here's Danny's mom.
His name's Michael.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And he's a Jew. You can tell he's a Jew. Look at
Ask him
him.
who's his daddy.
Magical moment. I can almost taste Danny. It's so close I can almost taste him. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. It's the Sunday Roast with your hosts, Magic Mike and Danny the GFP. Hello and welcome to the 24th edition of the Sunday Roast, Coming Home edition.
Have the USA ever won the European Championships? No, because you're shit.
They have never lost it either.
Point taken.
So
how are you?
My three lions, my beloved birthplace of my post non in the England lifestyle, for whatever that means, has brought it home. And Danny, I heard you leapt out of the chair today and celebrated, and
I did
because falling everywhere.
I did because I was listening to the first hour in my bedroom. So then I got out of bed, had a poo, then come in here, shouted and screamed a bit, and then watched it. And then 5 minutes before the game ended, my streamy thing stopped fucking working. So I used a VPN, and then that didn't make any difference. And then I tried it on the BBC, and the BBC went, "Oh no, senor, you are in Spain." I went, "Fuck." Turned the VPN off, and it went, "You're still in fucking Spain, son."
You are. What was it? Was it Lee Gunner's VPN? That you were borrowing?
Yes, it was him outside of a school shouting at small children.
Shouting at them to come on his show, probably. So you were. You sounds like you were at least, somewhat vested in it. I've not seen or heard that of you before when it comes to my beloved Three Lions.
I watched the first game, very, very boring. I think it was a 1-0 win. Second game I didn't watch. Third game, I think it was 4-1. I watched most of it. The next one I watched, the 6-0. The 8-0 was the third group game. I didn't watch that. Then I watched the rest of the games or listened to them on the radio. So,
I remember when we were in Orlando doing one of the gatherings, not for the game day. Well, no, I think it was actually before the first game. Was the one that England leveled up with about 6 or 7 minutes left, and then ended up winning it in extra time, just like tonight, except the reverse of the regular time. And a slow start sometimes ends up finishing on in stride. And
there was a lot of that in the when watching England. They didn't really do much until the second half. In that game against Sweden are one of the best teams in the world, and England smashed them. I mean, beat them 4-0. That cheeky back heel goal. Apparently, she does that all the time in training.
That was amazing. We were by that point we were in Sarasota, and they had the game on at the bar we were at, and I was locked into it. And then we got about 10 minutes after that game ended, we got caught in a maelstrom of a thunderstorm / hurricane / end of the world situation.
I saw. I did
my live stream. I just wanted to say goodbye to everybody that's been so supportive over my my 6 years.
Understandable. But the woman who won it, the coach, she's only been there for 10 months, And before that, she won it last 4 years ago, however long it was, with Norway, with Holland. Fucking Norway.
She must be good.
Yeah,
She must
she's
be good at like
not lost a game for England yet. We've
coaching thing.
Yeah, I was just looking back in earlier this year, England in November, 30th of November last year, they beat Latvia 20-0.
We're causing potential health crises.
What with
with diabetics not getting their appropriate medicine tonight because Petito is just going to skip his job of giving insulin to people tonight so that he can listen to the Sunday roast.
Did you have Petito's thing up? Because I didn't look at the screen and I clicked on Arnie's.
Yes, I did, and you completely overrode it with your.
That's what happens. Too many cooks, not enough.
With your draconian running of my bell. I haven't unpacked my bell yet.
No. Arnie had an earthquake. He's in Iceland.
No, I think he just went to the bathroom. And that's what he's referring to.
Well, I've had a few protein bars the last few days, so I know what you're feeling.
Earthquake alert to the Midland. Is the Midland? You're not quite in the Midlands, are you? Or is it called the Midlands? Yeah,
Southeast. I'm in East Anglia.
East Anglia, really?
Well, actually, I'm in Northwest East Anglia. Put that in a bloody bun and eat it.
Got all of it's Northwest East Anglia South Edition.
Yeah, I'm about an hour and a half from London and about an hour and a half from Birmingham, right in the sweet. The nicest part of the UK, apart from maybe Cornwall and that area where Chris lives.
When I think I want to go to that area, Devon and Cornwall, it just seems like it would be so un-England-like in that area. Like that Plymouth, Devon.
They would like to be their own country because they have their own flag. Most places have their own flags one way or another, but they have their own language. And they're the Cornish people, the Cornwall and Devon and Plymouth and all that lot. It's really nice. I couldn't go. There's too bumpy. See, Darren, remember that I ordered 2 pizzas the other day. One day and one the next day because I couldn't be bothered to cook. 22 quid.
That is a lot.
Geesby Knight says, "What is GFP? German flower pot. It was my car. Well, it is my car. It was exactly 10 years ago today, Mike, since I last sat in that car. The last time I drove."
Really? You have that calendared to July
31st? No, it's because the next day, tomorrow is the 1st of August. 31st, yeah. And so my road tax had run out, so we drove to Peterborough to get new road tax, and it didn't work. I couldn't do it because the fuckers were on strike. And so that was the last day I drove it. And then I had some work done to it. And then I thought it's too cold to drive the convertible around. And then later that next year, I fucked my elbow up and then couldn't get in it. And then that took 4 years to fix. So there you go. But the price of the cars have dropped, which is sad times. It's not worth the money it was. I saw one of mine for sale in decent condition for 12 grand. A year ago, they were best part of 20. Fuckers.
Sorry, I just got distracted because I am being told that the Gooners versus Cancer website is not accepting donations, and that is a particularly bad problem.
Right
now,
because talk while you go and hit it with a stick.
Yeah, well, that's a really bad time for this to be happening. Actually,
how do you know it's not taking donations? Who told you?
Someone who just tried to donate just told me. I have noticed that I think this campaign is apparently showing as closed. So I was wondering why there were no donations going in. Can you vamp for like 2 minutes?
Have 5 minutes. I will talk to the beautiful listeners.
All right.
Good. Oh, now look, see what he's done, people. He's stolen the picture of me in a bath and he uses it. Cheeky. Look, there he is. You fixed it already. That was fucking quick.
You can look at me, just problem-solving face, but I'm going to mute myself.
Okie, Stefan, go away. So Stefan's got the black flags up. Yeah, I think that's the flag for down there. I think it's black with a white diagonal cross on it. Loki says he's in North Cambridgeshire, the posher bit. No, that's on the very edge of Cambridgeshire. I suppose I'm in the middle of Cambridgeshire. Scott says Cornwall wants independence. I don't blame them. I can't go there. It's not flat enough. I'd end up on my arse. Arnie says it's only been 2,341 earthquakes near my town in the last 24 hours. I don't use the Tottenham Stadium so much. Oh, well, that's good. Steph, that was with Vic Ackers, Kelly Smith, Faye White, Rachel Yankee, Alex Scott, and Maria. Well, only 3 flags for 7p. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the England squad today, there was 4 current Arsenal players and 4 ex-Arsenal players. So, and there's no Spurs. So technically, Arsenal should get a copy of that. Remember when Piebury Corner, they won the best pie thing award from some company, and I'm sure there was a rumour that Arsenal took it, wouldn't give it back in the Arsene Wenger decade of drought. And I think we're so desperate to get older trophies that they took it, and Piebury Corner never got it back, and then they shut down because of the COVID-ings. Darren says he's 15 minutes from Danny. I should move further away. The more famous he gets, the less my house is worth. 15 minutes away. Well, I hope it's not Peterborough. It might actually be. There's a few people I talk to on Twitter. I've talked to Darren a few times on Twitter, and they live in Peterborough. So commiserations if you live in Peterborough, because it's an absolute fucking shithole. I've got a story about Peterborough coming up later if Mike manages to fix his site. Matt D'Souza, Danny, with the England women, will the England women be forced to have a beer with Boris, cuddle up with the corgis, and become dames? No doubt that unmade bed of a human being, which is our dear leader, Mr. Johnson, he will probably be all over that, and he'll probably, because he has a habit of dressing up in other people's stuff for photo shoots, and he'll probably be dressed up in a women's kit with everything hanging out and with hair like he just pulled backwards through a bush. And so, but will they get dame hoods? Well, it's very strange the way that works in this country. Plenty of people who have entertained the nation have been wonderful people for 70, 80 years, like Ronnie Corbett from the 2 Ronnies. He died at about 88, 89, something like that. Never got one. But you get Lewis Hamilton and David Beckham and all these other pricks getting them. I don't think you should get one until you're at least 60 or you've retired from the business that made you famous. So, Loki, Peterborough Pound Shop, GTA 5. Oh, my God, it's a shithole. Fucking hate the place. Matt says, during lockdown, it was funny when people from London wanted to flood to Cornwall and the Cornish told them to fuck off. They've actually tried to bring in legislation down there they had a vote because so many people were moving down there. All these rich people like who's loaded that we know. Good God, Jeff. It's like no, yours doesn't count. You've bought houses elsewhere. Like Jeff's loaded because he's a busy, hardworking bloke. And they made a thing where these people go down there and they go, your house down in Cornwall worth 300 grand. We'll give you 500. Now, what person in their right mind isn't going to take 500 grand for a 300 grand house? And they did it. They moved out. And then they moved further away. And then when the summer season is over, it's like a fucking ghost town. There's no commerce. There's no industry because all the fishing stuff has stopped. And so those beautiful places are empty. And I think some of them may, what's it called when you rent your house out for a couple of weeks? Anyway, you know what I'm on about. A few like that did that, but the rest of them are empty. But they've actually said, no more for new builds. You fuckers are not having our houses. Good. It seems that Darren is in Snots. The posh, we are posh here. Fucking St. Neots is not fucking posh. I had a girlfriend who lived in Eton Soken, Cindy. She was the one that got away. Tried my best, but she managed to dig her way out. Any of you fuckers want to hit my story about some dickhead yesterday on Facebook Marketplace? I'll take that as you do. Right. So during the Wu Flu lockdown, Sian decided that she was going to learn how to play chess. Now, father knows how to play chess because father knows everything. And so she bought a chessboard, a magnetic one from Amazon for 10 English pounds. And then she didn't use it. And then she did the usual, I'll send it back. A year and a half later, she finds it, hasn't sent it back. Give it to me. I put it on Facebook Marketplace and I put it there for 80 of your English pounds, your finest English pounds. Now, this moron from Peterborough, he decided he wanted it. And so he said, can I have it? I said, yes. I said, it's £6. He said, I'll give you a £5. I said, you can have it for £6. And I said, it's £6, no haggling. And he went, okay. He said, what's the measurements of it? I said, it's 9.8 inches, or 8.9 inches, which is 19 centimetres. Yeah, Feinberg, you can look at me in that tone of voice. And he went, okay. I said, when you be here? He said, I'm leaving now. I'll be there in 40 minutes. I thought, fucking 40 minutes? How the fuck is it going to take? Where are you? He said, I'm coming from Peterborough. Now, to get from Peterborough to here, even in a diesel, will probably cost you £5, maybe £6, possibly £7, depending whether Sean's driving or not. Could be £8. And this thing's £10 on Amazon, and he's given me £6 for it. So Sexy Frank turns up. He's parked the Audi Q5 on the driveway, and we're out the front having a chit chat. And then this dickhead turns up, gets out of his car, and I don't know where he was from, but I don't think they liked cats. My cat Betty, as ever, always goes out there and goes, meow, meow. She goes up and meets people. And he went, I'm scared of your cat. I can't come over there. So Frank brought the chessboard over to him. Brand new, in its box, never been used. He looked at it, took it out of the box, went, oh, it's a bit small. And Frank said, he says it's a bit small. I said, 8.9 inches, 19 centimeters. I put it in the Facebook thing. He said, oh, but I thought that was for half of it. What kind of fucking dipshit thinks that when you give someone a measurement, they think it would be for fucking half? He also asked if my magnetic chessboard was made of wood. This is the kind of dipshittery that you get in Peterborough. And so he went, oh, I don't want it then. And then me and Frank giggled and laughed like little girls as this prick got back in his car and fucked off back to Peterborough with a tail between his legs, because it's probably cost him more in diesel than it would have cost him to just go and fucking buy it. The dipshit. So there you go. So if anybody wants a magnetic chess set, you let me know. I can sort you one out for £6, but you have to come and pick it up. Are you going to come pick it up, Mike?
I've never heard somebody that could just talk so well by himself without any accompaniment whatsoever. Although you probably do get a lot of practice.
I do talk to the cats. I do.
I figured out the problem, but I can't fix it, and none of the people that can are available right now. And this is
what does it? Why isn't it working? Tell the people here what's wrong.
All right. So the Gooners versus Cancer fundraising website points to a Leukemia Lymphoma Society website, which ultimately accepts donations. And apparently the current campaign was listed as running only through July 31st, which happens to be today at, I don't know, 12 a.m. or something like that. So all last night I was adjusting the site, setting it up, and boom, anyone depositing money today, tomorrow, before the end of the 27-hour podcast will be entered in the raffle. We're giving something away every hour on the hour for 27 hours starting tomorrow night. Only problem is that the campaign's over. The website's locked down. No one can donate it. I can't update it.
Yeah, but can't you speak to him tomorrow about it?
Well, but the problem, yeah, but I mean, the time to get the donations in is before the 27 hours starts.
Is it? I thought it was during the 27 hours.
Well, you can get it in during the 27 hours, but we do drawings every hour. So, the earlier you get your deposit in, or the earlier you get your donation in, the more of the drawings you could be part of. Like an hour into the podcast, we're drawing for a Lee Dixon signed shirt. Oh. So for those of you that are here, you get to know the early info, which is if you donate before the show starts, you'll be in that donation group and there won't be a ton of people. If you wait until 9, 10, 11, 12 hours into the thing, you're going to miss a bunch of them. But today was the day and tomorrow is the day to get these donations in, and it's impossible because the website's locked, and that is an absolute piece of garbage.
Can't you go to their website and set up a new campaign and start it from midnight? And then link that to your site?
Cannot start a new campaign. I can edit campaigns, but it's an archaic system where I actually need the back end people at the LLS to get something started for me.
Yeah, but they'll be there tomorrow, won't they?
Sunday.
Just make sure you get up nice and early.
Sunday.
Harass them. Huh?
Wait, is today Sunday? Today's Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, great. So we haven't even less time than I thought. Not good. I'm not even sure I can continue this because I'm so preoccupied right now that this entire fundraiser is going to hell in a handbasket. The show's going to be great.
Can't people pay with PayPal, and then you can mark with when the PayPal came in, and then you can.
And I've done that all throughout Baltimore and Orlando, and so what I'm gonna have to get the news out that you can do it through Venmo and PayPal. So for the 24 of you that are here, if you wanted to donate to this, you can get in and have really good odds at winning a Lee Dixon signed shirt and the other early prizes by Venmoing to GVC Donate. Gooners versus Cancer Donate. I'm going to be putting that out wide stream, but because I'm actually on the air right now with you, that's going to be the only way right now that you can donate. You get your name in, you'll get your tickets. I'll put in the donation for you once I get everything fixed. But this is not the way. This and COVID is not the way I wanted to start my.
Who's got COVID? You.
I do.
Oh, I thought you were joking with that.
No, I went to Florida. I hugged 1,000,000 people, and
Dirty boy.
And when I got home, I tested and I got the goddamn thing. I'm already over the worst of it though.
Yeah,
I got a sunburn from the pool last Wednesday that is 10 times as bad as the COVID that I have right now. So
is this the second time you've had it?
Yeah. I had it back in December 2020. That one put me down for a few days, but now I'm just like, when you have all this going on,
that sexiness.
Yes, the sexiness, the healthiness, the ability to fight off anything other than bad news, because apparently that's sinking me right now. But yeah, COVID ain't nothing but a thing.
Yeah, but surely as a company, they will be have people there from 8 a.m. and then you can just ring them up, say, I need to sort this now, and then they'll have it done within half hour.
I've just emailed everybody that I can to try to.
You emailed me.
Well, can you solve my problem?
Yes.
Oh,
God. I'll give you my bank account details, and you send all of the monies to me.
So I wonder how many people went there and they're like, I can't do this. Fuck this.
No, people just think, I'll try again later. They won't think, fuck it. It's too well established for people to be thinking and stuff like that. Biden's got it again. Dear, didn't he get over it and then got it again a week later?
Yeah, he took that medication that you take, Paxlovid, I think, and apparently there's some like rebound effect for some people that take Paxlovid where you go negative for a while and then you get positive again. Kind of like Andy Rhodes with gonorrhea.
Oh,
he finally got rid of it.
Did he?
But it's back.
Did he give it to Hernandez, the dirty boy?
Hernandez he's done a mic.
What's he done?
He's lost 70 pounds.
I didn't even know he was fat.
But he hasn't done the mic part 2 yet, which is to put it all back on. So
that is sad. So tell people what's happening this Tuesday between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m.
Yes, roasties. Not only do you get this Sunday roast, which so far, what kind of entertainment have we provided to you tonight?
And that's why this is going to be a short one.
Yeah. You are getting another hour of the Sunday roast on Tuesday morning. And should we call it the Sunday roast on Tuesday morning, or should we just call it the Tuesday roast or the Tuesday morning roast? Or what do we?
The Sunday roast, the Tuesday edition.
Sunday roast, Tuesday edition.
On a Monday.
Yeah, for me, it'll be Monday. For you, it'll be Tuesday. We'll be from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. Tuesday morning, UK time, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time in the U.S. And we're filling an hour that wasn't otherwise going to be filled on this 27-hour journey. It's hour number 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hour number 6 of 27.
So at what point are you going to sleep?
When it's over.
So I get grumpy after being awake for about 12 hours. I'd be an absolute nightmare.
This is,
Tuesday toast.
Welcome to the Tuesday toast. I like that. I'm not doing a new intro, or I could just take the existing intro and voice over and say Tuesday.
Shout Tuesday at it as it's going through.
That's what I'm going to do. Once I solve all of my other problems, I'm gonna do that.
Don't worry, they'll fix it. They'll realize how important it is and how many thousands and millions you'll be raising.
I'm not worried that the site won't be working by the time the thing starts. I'm aggravated that the best time to donate to this thing is the 48 hours before, and I already screwed myself by planning this on a Monday to Tuesday night rather than a Wednesday to Thursday night. And there's a reason I did that, which ended up becoming not a necessary reason. But now there's no promotion on all the other podcasts that we normally would have had on the Monday and the Tuesday. So this is a very, very lightly promoted, very well produced and stacked with guests, and impossible to donate to event. So, we're going to be doing drawings every hour where there's going to be like 3 people in the drawing. So hey, you get a bonus if you're listening to this. Now Matthew D'Souza is wrong about one thing. Remembers me talking with Fergus drunk and needing match 60. Unless you're talking about Fergus being drunk, I do not drink during a 24-hour podcast. 7-hour podcast, yes. And usually it's a 7-hour podcast because I've been drinking. But the 24-hour podcast is...
How many podcasts have you done that you don't remember doing because of the drink?
I don't remember. How much to answer that question?
It could be any number. It could be most of them.
Let's say it's probably more than 5.
Talking of freeloading scumbags, this scumbag there, Andy, I think he used to be a part of your podcast. Is he turning up for any of them?
He picked his favorite guests to glom onto, and then and left during the left everyone else holding the bag for the other ones. He's like, I'll take Arsene Wenger, Thierry Henry, and the ghost of Herb Chapman, and then then Jared can have
and clean up the rest.
Not another Arsenal podcast or something like that.
You got a couple of takeovers, so you're not going to be on the takeovers, are you? So you can have a little
I'll be on the takeover. Look, my goal is to do everything, and if I fall short of that goal, it should not kill the entire thing. But
that's that prick that we couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Chaz Nuki Burden.
What happened?
Quite a few of us, and then he actually went up his own arse. Absolute knob.
Well, and every time he was still friendly with you, and we're like, why did you just ghost us and never respond to us about anything ever? And he's like, oh no, I didn't realize that. And I'm like whatever. Like, what did I?
Whatevs.
Whatevs, bro? Did I talk about hurting a bird or something like that? The broken duck probably pissed him off because you know how he is with animals.
You'd be surprised that this season is the 10th season of ABW.
I like him. I don't know what we did wrong, though.
I don't dislike him. I just think he's irritable. About to start our 10th season this Friday. That's how our seasons run. First game of the season is the new when the new season starts. That's how I break it up in my spreadsheet of details. And I'm surprised the number of people that have been a major part of ABW that just blank you, that I don't hear from. They just go, oh, I've spent hundreds of hours talking to you in WhatsApp and pre-pod, post-pod, in-pod. Then they go, no. You message them, don't get a reply. Absolute scumbags. So half of them, I'd say more than that. Not the ones I've fallen out with. Like I don't expect to hear from Gimli or Jace or the one from South America, whose name I shall not say because he will turn up like a genie and cut my head off. But other than that, yeah, don't hear from them.
South America?
Venezuela.
Not ringing a bell. Especially if I don't have my bell, I can't ring it.
Oh.
Is it this guy?
I think you've done very good at asking.
Yes.
No!
Yeah, those little pricks taking a piss out of me. He should have just gone, fuck you.
That's what he did. What do you mean he should have done that? He did that.
Yeah, he didn't say it though, did he? Where was that?
That's the greatest clip I've seen on Twitter in the last day or two. Unless that is like in a really, really good deep fake, that's like Unai Emery just really raw about his fucking time here and not. I mean, that's better than the time that Mertesacker like do you remember when some guy tried to shake his hand and then pulled his hand away at the last minute? You don't remember that?
No.
He was he was wearing a suit. So I think he was. I mean, I think it was during the year he was injured right up until the FA Cup, or maybe it was when he retired or something. But someone stuck his hand out like a fan at the Emirates. He was walking off, and then just when he went to shake his hand, he pulled his hand away, and Mertesacker looks at this like kid, and he's like, not, I mean, like this 14-year-old kid, and he's like, and then he goes, like he was going to hit him or something. It's the greatest thing, but I think this one might even be better with Emery.
Ah, sad times indeed. Aussie Dom's one of them. Yep, changed his number, never gave me his new number.
Yeah,
hundreds of hours speaking to him.
Every time I turned on your pod for a couple months, it was a guy with an Aussie accent talking about soft tissue injuries.
It's because Dom is a beautiful bastard, a lovely man, a great talker. Chris said that he might come and do a show. An ABW news. I had a moan at Chris for never fucking turning up at stuff. I had a bit of a rant at him. He said, "Oh, what's the plans for the season?" And I wasn't feeling well, and I basically said, "Well, if you'd fucking turn up more, ABW wouldn't be getting 3 listeners per show." He come back to me and he went, "I've had to think about this. If you want, I'll host every podcast this season, every main podcast." I thought, fuck me. So there you go, people. You can have Chris hosting, and then things will get done properly. It won't be me going, "There's a fly in here," or talking about how my feet hurt or what I've had for dinner. It'll be actually a proper football podcast, like in the olden days.
Or your balls, or which, by the way, are we going to ring the bell for your balls? They're back? They're back in remission.
My balls are back to their usual shrunken shrew kind of stage. The little wiggly thing above that is still inverted, and all the fluffy bit above that has actually started to go down. But my right leg below the knee is now swollen. I look like, they use elephant legs to make kebabs, don't they? They get an elephant, chop its leg off, put a skewer up through it, and then make Turkish kebabs. I'm sure that's what they use an elephant's leg. My leg is a little bit like that at the moment. It's very painful. I'm on really strong antibiotics, 125 milligram ones.
Do you have compression stockings? Because I've been prescribed to wear those now.
Well, I have. I usually wear them all the time because I get bloaty feet, because that's part of the problem with my condition is you have terrible circulation. And one of the blokes who has had the... Yeah, no, there'll be none.
It's over.
I did actually say
it's like when what was it? There was some car company like Nissan, Datsun or something used to be I know that's a Lee Gunner reference, but Datsun used to have a car called the Nissan or something, and then the company became Nissan instead or something like that happened back in the 80s.
Datsun and Nissan were 2 separate companies, and Nissan bought Datsun. Like Peugeot, Citroen, and Renault used to be different companies. Now they're all the same company.
Well, there's one car company that had a brand of a car, and then the brand of the car became the name of the company, and that's what I'm seeing happening with the Sunday Roast, where like instead of being a brand, a sub brand of the Burkamp Wonderland, the Sunday Roast is going to become the flagship, if you will.
It's the only ship. Yeah, so it's looking good. Carl is organising a podcast this Tuesday, an ABW preview for the season. Carl, Josh, Chris, John. There's 5 of them. I can't remember. I forget which one. I've done it in what order. Then I might do another one with the rest of them, because we did one last season, and we might put up and then have a look at what our predictions were last season. But yeah, Chris is doing that. So I'll be doing the preview show. I'll do some preview shows and some post-game shows. But as the game this Friday, I'll be doing a preview and I'll be doing a post-game show straight at 10 minutes after it. Kind of back to normal. YouTube has withheld our payments because I don't have any tax info. So they take 30% extra on top of the 50% they take anyway. So excellent. We get 50 quid, which would be nice to get 50 quid every 4 months when it costs us 250 quid a fucking... some years we used to get £700 or £800 in donations. That's how everyone's got all nice equipment. That's how they've all got HD cameras and decent mics, and we had about a dozen laptops.
Our pod has 2 of the worst mics that any podcast has ever had.
Both fat. Well, one's fat and one's no longer fat, which is sad.
Yeah.
Yes. So my legs all swollen up. So I might have to go to the hospital and go, "Oi, you fucks. This has been a month now. I've had 3 courses of antibiotics, and I'm still swollen up like a mofo." So I'm gonna have to. I got up today at 5.
I've never heard you say mofo before.
Mofo. Yes, it's the type of Nissan car. Oh yeah, I've got those. I've got white ones, which I normally wear anyway because my feet swell up. But I can't put them on because my leg's too swollen. The irony.
Yeah, it's not easy to put these on. Imagine how hot I look walking around the house with these, though. I mean, you know,
Oh, I bet Mrs. Feinberg's rubbing her thighs in expectation.
she's so excited to not be at home right now.
Anyway, so this bloke who has taken the medication, which I'm getting my interview for on the 27th of September, he said the first thing you notice is his circulation went back to normal within a couple of days. Because anyone who's ever been in my house always knows it's like a fucking oven in here. I mean, at the moment I've got a heater on and it's 28.1 degrees.
I was thankful it was November and not August.
Yes, so hopefully my circulation will get back to normal, and then I won't be so bloaty. I won't have bloaty feet.
Tomorrow is our 9-month anniversary of meeting each other, which means the baby should be here any day now.
I think elephant babies take a considerably longer length of time to pop out of whichever orifice you're growing it in. I take it you're the mummy.
I am a. Well, that would mean that I was a receptacle for you.
No, I was thinking about that. I think we just had a mixture of DNA, put it in an egg cup and put it in a cupboard. I'll have a look in the cupboard later. There was no touching of any parts of each other's bodies.
I did shed a considerable amount of DNA at your home when I took the COVID test. So I don't know what you did with that after I left.
We grew another you. So we've got a skinny you. And Mrs. Feinberg asks me on a weekly basis if she can have the skinny Feinberg. What? You were on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Have you got time to discuss it?
Yeah, absolutely.
How did you go about getting on it?
Well, it was back in the show over here debuted in August of 1999 with the huge prime time thing with what's his name?
Regis Philbin, who's now dead.
He was now dead. I wept when he passed away.
A nice man.
So they had this phone game. I mean, the thing about most game shows, at least here in America, is that it's essentially like an audition for a television show. You got to go to a place and audition, and you have to be compelling and be fake and act this way. Which is why, even though I fancy myself pretty good at trivia, I'm good with numbers, with kind of
all the numbers,
problem solving. I know most of the numbers.
Most of the numbers.
72. I have not.
No such number.
Familiarized.
After he goes 11, 12, 12T, and then after that, there's no more numbers.
Yeah, 12 and teen.
12T.
So I'd always think I would do well at a game show, but I just didn't. I don't like fucking dancing in front of someone like a chimpanzee. To try to make them, be something that they want to put on television. So what I liked about
it's when chimpanzees watching, if Mike has just referred to himself as looking anything like you poor fuckers, you don't. You're all beautiful hairy monkeys.
Our chimpanzee, what the hell is that called? Like the segment that you get, our demographic, our chimpanzee demographic. We just cratered it.
Yeah, it's not very large. So, but they're enthusiastic, which is the most important thing. Much like yourself with your love life, very large, quite enthusiastic.
They have symbols taped to their hand, and they go like this.
So
what I liked about this is that it was all merit based. Like you basically called a phone number, and in the beginning it was like a toll number, like a what do they have over there? 999 numbers
no, that's
emergency.
The old classic.
That's emergency. We had like 1-900 numbers, and you would then do a phone game where it's basically like that first step where you put the four things in chronological order.
I put 3 of them in the right order, but the other one I've not heard of because it is American-fied. But there's no way I'd have done it as quick as you would have done. I got it. There's only one of the questions I didn't get right in the whole show. Yeah, 2 of them I guessed.
We practiced, and I mean that was one thing I was pretty good at. So the phone version of it would, you'd enter it in on your phone, and I had a whole.
This is before sausage fingers, wasn't it? So like now, like at the moment, it's like trying to get a £1 sausage and trying to press buttons. You couldn't do it now.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't be eligible.
You press all the buttons at once.
There's a maximum weight limit to be on the show, so I.
Oh dear! All they'd hear is blah, 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 blah. So please press one button.
I'm playing these games. You got to get all of them right, and then the next day, when you get all of them right, you are randomly selected. They randomly select like 50 people out of everyone in the country that got all of them right
And that's America, so I suppose they struggled at times.
To get a second round. The second round is another phone game with like 5 questions, and whoever gets all of them right, the 10 quickest times or the 12 they had backups was called back. And at this point they were doing the game on a Thursday, the second round on a Friday. They would call you to tell you that you were going up to New York on a Saturday, and the taping was on Sunday, and it aired on the Monday. So like it was all like
no fucking about.
No, it wasn't like, oh, I tried out and 7 months from now my show will be on and I got to be quiet about what happened. So I like that, and I didn't get in August, but the show came back in November, and on like the 3rd or 4th try, I did the first round. I got selected for a second round. I did the second round. I thought I missed one of the 5 questions. So I was like, oh, well, this is over. And then we got a phone call from New York that's like, can you be on a plane tomorrow morning at 7:00?
They said, is that Mike from the Gooners podcast? You're through, son. Come to New York.
Is this Mike who's going to be doing a podcast in
22 years?
Yeah, in about 18 years from now. Yeah, as a matter of fact, it is. So they flew us up to New York, and there were 12 of us, and there were 10 regulars and 2 alternates. I was one of the regulars, and I mean it was just kind of this crazy situation. It kept going well, and then the next thing I know, the one show that we're on, because there were 30-minute shows and there were 60-minute shows. Mine was a 30-minute show, so there was only going to be one fastest finger game, and we knew that going in, and so I had to nail it, and nail it I did. So then I motherfucking goddamn
you mofoed this shit out of it.
I went up on the goddamn seat and I won that shit. So is he seriously asking me if I ever swear, or was I just using like friggin' or goddamn or something like that?
Oh, you always swear. You're quite the potty mouth. So the questions, because the last question you quit on, you knew the answer, didn't you?
I suspected I did. The issue was it was what animal appears on a caduceus.
I had no idea. I had to guess.
The very first thing I thought of was that medical symbol at a doctor's office with the snake around the thing. But
yes.
But at that point in my life, I'd never heard of it referred to as a caduceus before. So I had just, I had just gotten to $64,000 on a complete lucky guess where I had nothing. I wasn't going to lose anything. I was at 32. I had a 1 in 4 chance. I guessed the right answer. So I got up to 64. So I was like super conservative. I was not going to guess again on the next answer and drop $32,000, which at the time that was more than just like pennies to me. Now, I dropped $32,000 at the pub. Because
at some point during the show, he was saying, you were going, there's my final answer, let's move on. That's the thing that annoys me with quiz shows. I don't need to see the answers. I either know it or I don't. And then, come on, get on with it. I don't want to get after the break. But you said this. Is that your final? Just fuck it. I've told you the answer. Fucking move on. I want my entire go done in 4 minutes. Go.
I would love to see you. Like the game, you would be on a game show and they would just be arguing the whole time with the host. Awesome.
Yeah, get on with it. That's not right. I'm telling you. The answer is moops. If anybody knows what that is, you get an extra point.
Moobs.
You know what that is?
Moobs?
Moops. MOOPS.
Oh, I thought you meant my moobs. Like,
well, he's one of your lot. One of the chosen few.
Don't know what that is.
Down, 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 down. Anyway. Yeah, first person to get it gets 1 extra point.
Was that the Seinfeld theme?
Indeed it was. Joy, boy in the bubble. That was the episode. I just finished watching it again. It's magnificent. So, how long did it take them to give you the money?
Tell me the money. Well, when we ended up, we had plans on going on like a little weekend cruise.
Was the woman in the audience Steph?
Yes, she looked very, very different. She looked very different. And Steph always says that like she is not a trivia buff she's a self-admitted non-trivia buff, but she knew all of the questions that I didn't know and like that I struggled with and that I needed. I was just so nervous that I just didn't trust what I thought I knew, and I almost didn't know the $1,000 question, which was what the car that Henry Ford named after his son, like the Model T or something like that. I wasn't, or no, the Edsel. I was not 100% sure about that when I answered that, and so I could
have
have
a later one as well called the Edsel.
Yeah, but if I had missed that one, I would have been the first person to crash out at zero to that point.
So how long before you got the money?
About 2-3 weeks.
And was it all in one go? Because I know like there's been a $1.6 billion lottery over there, and if you take it all in one go, you pay 75% tax on that fucker.
It's not 75%. No.
Oh, I was listening to someone talk about it.
It's not 75% tax. What happens is the 1.6 billion is the total if you take it over 25 years.
I think it's 30 now.
30? Okay, probably 30. And what you can get all in one lump sum is if you take the present value of that, if you take it all in one lump sum, then you get a smaller amount and then pay taxes. So the after tax amount of the discounted lump sum payment is probably 25% of the total winnings, but that doesn't mean that that's not all going to tax. It's going to not having to wait 30 years to get it.
But in this country, if you win the lottery of 100 million, you get 100 million. You don't pay any tax on any of it.
You don't,
and you get it all in one go. Huh?
You don't end up having to pay because I got the whole 64,000, but it's called non-employment income over here, so you pay tax on it at the end of the year, and I knew that, so I set aside about 25,000 of it to pay taxes, and then misused the remainder of it. But
what did you spend it on? So you had to give them. You had to give 20. Your government are fucking crooks. I think I've just watched the Watergate, the President's Men with Dustin Hoffman. Your government are crooks. You can say you're not a crook, son. You're a fucking crook. There's no way you should get taxed. You get taxed on your wages, and then you spend your wages on this, and they tax you on your winnings. Fuck off.
You don't pay income tax, do you? It's just VAT? Just VAT?
Yeah, you've got things over there like fucking individual state taxes as well. We just pay a flat rate of 20% VAT on everything you buy, and then it's there. You don't go.
It used to be 15, right?
Huh?
Used to be 15.
I remember when it was 7.5. And then it won't go. The price of this is 20 quid, or this price of this is £10 plus VAT. It's £12. It doesn't say that.
You have a consumption tax then, which essentially it almost. I mean, it doesn't always, but it pretty much works against spending a lot of money on things. Do you pay on investment gains? Do you pay on income?
Yeah, but you have to. I think you announce that. You have to
you announce that. You have to go up to the top of a hill.
I say
I have done really well on this investment.
There is a word for it. Self-certify. I don't know. Maybe that's mortgages. But you can I think if my mum dropped dead, we get £350,000 you can get before any taxes. And so with the house and any other money she's got stuffed up her skirt.
Over here, the inheritance tax.
Your microphone's too far away.
Over here, the inheritance tax doesn't start until 24 million.
See, that's not too bad. But again, it's just going to be the 1% that are going to keep giving it to each other. Give you some idea of how corrupt it is in this country. The family who owned the most amount of houses in London, they had shops and houses, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds worth of stuff. The bloke died, left it to his son, and his son paid no fucking tax on it because he's probably mates with Boris Johnson or David Cameron or one of those other cunts.
Yeah,
there you go. There goes our monetization. That's the 42p we would have made from this gone.
A lot of the work that I do in my day job is like helping families to plan for the estate tax and businesses and that sort of thing. So this is my bailiwick. But imagine the Sunday roast being about taxation.
It's about anything you want it to be.
Colonoscopy, taxation, salmon on my bagels, which reminds me, I don't know if I've told this story, but when we left Denver to go to LA and I decided to get a bagel with lox, Andy looks at me.
I've tried salmon. I've tried bagels. Both disgusting.
He looks at me dead eye, like serious, and's like, "What the hell is a lock? What the hell is a lock?"
You don't get Jewish food over here.
Singular of locks because he thought that the locks were like a series of things that I was putting on my bagel.
It's wrong. It's all the silly things names you give to food. Just eat normal food. Just get down. You get yourself down McDonald's.
You know what I said to him? You know what I said to him at that time?
What did you say?
I think you've done very good at Arsenal. No!
That's
how very rude.
That's what I said to him right there.
So what did you spend the money on then? Your 64 grand or your 49 grand?
40. Let's call it 40.
40.
We did some landscaping in the back of our house. That was
no manscaping with your leg on the table. Good.
No. We did we put some flowers and trees in the back of our house.
The house you're in now?
Yeah, the house we're in now.
Oh.
For a little longer. I got laser eye surgery. That was worth it.
I'm thinking of getting that done. I can't see things far away, and now up close is getting wonky. It's only about £1,000 an eye. Put me down for it. I'll have that tomorrow.
It wasn't that back then. I'll tell you that much.
They've got new ways of doing it as well. So you don't feel a bloody thing.
Yeah, it was probably 7,000 or 8,000 back then for the two eyes, and it was. I mean, I've had horrible eyesight since. I mean, I was wearing Coke bottle glasses.
All that wanking
from age 3 or 4, like all the way to.
Jesus, you're a physical mess. How have you made it this far? I'm only just now falling apart.
Do we not have pictures of me with the glasses when I was a kid?
I've just uploaded a couple of pictures of the podathon because you forgot to do it.
Oh, thank you. And I
synergy, Michael, synergy.
So, and then I had contact lenses from age 12 to I guess 26 or 27. I could not deal with those anymore. So the surgery was perfect. That was a good use of the money. And then the rest of it, we spent about 5,000 or 6,000 on a trip to London and Paris. It was my first time back to London since I left, which was amazing. And I remember that we were over during the FA Cup final, and I think we watched it in a pub. Like I
didn't know you'd been to London.
This was just a short little visit.
5
days in London, 5 days in Paris with my wife before we started having chillins.
And then to get rid of them
the rest of it I put in very aggressive tech stocks in the year 2000. So if you have any historical investment memory, you will know that that money went away very quickly.
The big tech crash.
Yeah. So the things I spent it on right away were actually, were the best things I did because that money did not grow into anything else. So, and yes, theoretically speaking, here in the U.S., the lottery money is earmarked largely for education. I don't ever hear of so if they just gave away $1.3 billion to somebody, I'm pretty sure that means they raised 1.7 or 1.8 billion. I haven't heard of the 400,000 going to any. I mean, I have trouble believing that as well. It's supposed to go to state education funds, but Mr. Waffles believes that it goes to people running the lottery, which that would be a major thing. So we would not want that.
I am talking about eyes. On the 13th of August, 2005, I was meant to go to Arsenal v Newcastle with Seymour, and they'd moved it to a fucking Sunday. No one fucking told me. So we turned up on the Saturday, went, bloody hell, we got here really quickly, and realised the game had been moved to the Sunday because they're arseholes. So I thought, what shall I do? Oh, fuck it, let's go to Lakeside. I went to Lakeside, got my eyes tested, and got these glasses. All 14th of August 2005, I had this one pair of glasses. That's how long they've lasted me.
And with those glasses, did you see Thierry Henry's penalty in the 81st minute and Robin Van Persie's goal in the 87th minute, making it 2-0?
No, because I didn't go the next day. Couldn't be bothered. So I missed it. Sad times.
Well,
sad times. I was there for most of the others, though. So, I mentioned earlier, I had a girlfriend who was an Eton Soken, Cindy. Lovely girl. Seen pictures of her now. She's old. and her uncle went on Bullseye. Nothing. You have 2 in a bed. Nothing for 2 in a bed. But he played darts, and he won a speedboat. And they had no intentions of giving him the speedboat. They just gave him the money instead. There you go. Because the joke would be you'd have these working class programs in the 1970s and 80s, and they go, "Oh, this week, Bully's main prize is a caravan, a speedboat, a skidoo." No, not a skidoo, a jet ski. And these people probably didn't even own fucking cars, usually dirty northerners. And you think, bloody hell, they get all this stuff. You win a video camera that takes 3 people to hold it. You didn't get it. They just give you the money instead.
Well, that's better because if you win something, you got to pay taxes on it anyway. If you win something that isn't money,
you don't pay taxes on it.
Well, you do over here. When Oprah did the "you got a car" thing,
don't they have to pay the tax first before they get the car?
Well, no, they don't have to pay it first, but you do have to pay it. So, like, if you get like a $40,000 car as a gift, essentially, in July, all of a sudden you get a tax bill that comes to like $9,000-$10,000, and a lot of the people in the audience of those shows don't have that lying around to pay, even if it's allows them to keep a car, and they were screwed. So that actually caused more problems than the good that it did, giving all those people cars. But Craig's in the house. Craig from Fort Lauderdale, who is the who might have saved the entire Podathon, in a sense, by alerting me to the fact that the website was locked. It's still locked, and I still don't know what I'm going to do about this, but at least I know why, and I'm going to try to fix it. Yeah, not good at all. Did you happen to tune in to SummerSlam last night?
Yes, I did. What a fucking load of shit. First of all, you got that scroty little, I've used the word C word before, cunt, who's now been associated with Arsenal. He can get fucked. KSI, don't care about. Seems like a decent bloke. But this Logan Paul prick, he was on there.
Get over it.
Fuck it. No, I did. And I thought, I watched it for about an hour and a half. And then I thought, I don't really care about any of this lot.
I thought Logan Paul was going to come out in an Arsenal shirt, though. That would have sent people over the edge.
He's a shit. I don't like him, and I don't like his fans. So and then I remember thinking, there's a channel I watch on Twitch, and all they do is show old WCW, WWF stuff constantly on a loop 24 hours a day for free. And I look at some of the SummerSlams then, and you had actual legends coming out and doing stuff. People, and I hadn't heard of any of these pricks, apart from the final one. Was it Roman Reigns and?
Did you watch the main event?
No, I got bored and went. My leg was hurting.
Have you ever seen a situation like this? This was the ring by the second half of the main event.
How?
Because Brock Lesnar took, if you look on the left, there's a red tractor, and he basically drove the tractor into the ring and used the lift thing to lift up a corner of the ring, and Roman Reigns was in the ring at the time, and he went tumbling out, and then the whole rest of the match was done right by the announce table on the right, and was brutal. I mean, it was comical.
Was it meant to have happened like that?
Yeah, I think so. But like, I've seen rings where the ropes broke, or where the ring.
But nobody behind it would be able to see.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering about the people all in that corner because basically everything happened on the ground behind it. So I mean, they look up and they see it in the jumbotron, but the
whole point of going is because you say you don't have to look at the jumbotron.
Well, yeah, I'm sure in
never occurred to them.
I'm sure in the moment they were very excited. They're all going like this. But
it's not like when Stone Cold turned up in a Zamboni, is it?
Zamboni.
I don't know.
Well, then Brock Lesnar picked up Roman Reigns in the lift thing and dumped him out onto the ring, and I mean, it's just a bunch of like ridiculous spots, and finally Roman Reigns ended up winning.
All these people keep swearing in here, and I have to go and allow them all.
Why don't you
I don't know at what point they come up in our chat then, because I've just allowed a load. Oh yeah, Darren says, Oh, we both clicked on the same thing. Didn't Logan Paul's brother Jake get in trouble? No, it was Logan who did it.
No, yeah, Jake Paul's brother Logan got in trouble, and I mean, look, I don't want to
Seen
get
them going in China or Japan, going in dressing up in all the traditional gear, then going around making the noises and putting their hands together. Cunts.
Logan Paul made his. I'm going to end up getting painted as defending him here, but he got painted. He got famous due to really shitty, insensitive, dumb, like over the top pranks.
I do know who he is, and I do know how he made his name.
The odd thing though is like at what point do you? I mean, generationally speaking, we're in a world now where, and I tweeted about this a little earlier in the week.
We are pointless and meaningless.
We're in a world now, and I have an 18-year-old son who loves KSI. He has Sidemen clothing. He listens to it.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's like it or not, people are famous and admired for things that didn't used to be the way people got famous and admired for. And, popularity and marketability, which is ultimately what drives commerce. Are you falling asleep again?
Oh, my neck's hurting.
Oh, okay. It's just different now. And the longer you try to resist the fact that it's different now. I mean, kids don't watch television. They watch YouTube. My son, we switched our provider from Fios, from cable, to YouTube television, which requires a completely different way of watching television in order to get live shows and stuff. My son still hasn't noticed because he's not watching any of that. He's just looking at his phone, watching Twitch and watching, people yell at their FIFA drafts and unpackings and stuff. So it's just, it's just different. And while I don't support or endorse the way that Logan and Jake Paul became famous, and even KSI's got some pretty embarrassing, interviews and stuff in his past, pretty misogynistic stuff. Well, I don't endorse that. You look at what they're doing now with essentially with their empires, as much as it sucks to say that, and they're not so dumb. They're not so, they're actually.
No one's saying they're stupid. They're just saying they're little fucktards, and people like them because they're trendy.
They're big entrepreneur fucktards.
Yeah,
who are making the use of their name, and
like back in the day with you and Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yeah,
you loved them. You had all their underpants and hats, and your parents probably thought they were shit. They didn't know.
I had all the dances down. It was cool. I mean, it's just, it's hard for an old guy like myself to appreciate that stuff. But through my son, I see that, and then I actually I start looking at these people, and it's the same quite honestly with like AFTV, for example. You don't have to like what they were, and you don't necessarily have to like how they got there. But if you examine what they are now, you can differentiate between the two. And Logan Paul, to me, I actually start to see his business sense and how he uses his brand. How he got it was deplorable, but now that he has it, he's making the most out of it. He's
don't like any of them. Just act like an arsehole.
No different than Donald Trump using daddy's money.
You leave Donnie out of this. He's back. He'll be back in 2 years. Well, the world will be saved.
Using daddy's money, wasting most of it, buying real estate, sending companies bankrupt, yet not still basically getting. But most of his wealth comes from his name because of what he did. Misogynistic.
Dad left him $6 million, didn't he, or something like that?
I mean, things that have nothing to do with him have his name on it, and he got paid.
Trump University, Trump steak.
Trump steaks is my favorite one. Like, I never had a Trump steak, but like,
I don't think anybody has. The university one fucking died on its ass, didn't it?
And took everyone else's money with it.
Yeah, absolute shambles. But it's for the Utes, as they said in that film.
And the prime drink that Arsenal's now sponsoring it. My son has bought some. I've had some of it. It's not bad.
And do you know the only shop in the UK that sells it?
The Armory?
No, Asda, which is owned by Walmart.
I see the.
Hello. It's all coming together. I see the plan, but I hope they both die in a plane crash. And hopefully they got all the Kardashian cunts on the plane with them, and Kanye and all these other fucktards, and like Katie Price to be on there and all of her fucking family, and there's plenty of them. Yeah, you don't get enough famous people dying in plane crashes anymore. It used to be quite the thing.
What's that disgustingly xenophobic woman politician?
Katie.
Was it Katie Price?
No.
English.
Yeah. Blonde hair. Was on The Apprentice. Katie Hopkins.
Yeah, I think that's who I'm talking about. Ugh.
She's a cunt, but she's an interesting cunt. But she knows what she's doing. She used to have a show on LBC. So did Nigel Farage. Jesus. I mean, I like all the. That's why I like Trump. People who go out there and cause trouble and upset people. I'm just the anarchist in me.
Okay, well, upsetting people and causing nearly causing
get upset. Then hold on, I've just got upset by KSI and that prick, and you've gone, well, it's just their way. Don't get upset with them. Now you're then saying, oh, you shouldn't upset people. Can't have it both ways. Either full out anarchy, do what you want, or we'll all have to, I don't know, become Mormons. I don't even know.
When did I say don't upset people?
You said, well, because you see their plan. They're clever people. I said, they upset me. You said, don't be upset. Move on. Or was that a conversation I had with you in my head with no one else is involved?
I've already forgotten that part, but you know, again, I'm not going to remember this podcast because I had 8 bottles of vodka before we started.
But the Hopkins, she's like, I'd also have Simon Cowell on that plane, and I'd have Piers Morgan.
Here's my thing. Don't hate the people like the Kardashian. I mean, you hate whoever you want, but I would be more alarmed with the people who give them their celebrity status by being, so into them than them themselves. All they're doing is taking advantage of a market inefficiency. Is what we call it.
I was extremely disappointed.
Number of people who love, Kim Kardashian because of who she is and what she does. It doesn't, she would be a fool for not exploiting that.
She's a dirty hooer like the rest of them are.
Is she hurting anybody?
Yes, hurting my morals.
Well, that's the thing. If you're hurting somebody by exploiting that, then that's one thing. But
but like all the people on Love Island, just have them all shot into the moon. Sean once bought a Love Island drinking container with her name on it, and it cost her 15 quid. I nearly killed her. How dare you have my DNA? And then you fucking go and watch that shit. Like in the podcast, who is it? Carl and Femi both watch Love Island. It makes me sick. Grown fucking men watching Love Island.
A lot of Arsenal podcasts are pushed to a later time or earlier time because of Love Island. I think, isn't it on at 9:00 or is it over yet or is it still on?
I hate it so much. I made Sean go in her bedroom and fucking watch it. I wasn't even watching telly. I turned the telly off, said, go in your bedroom and watch that. You're not fucking watching that in here. I don't want to have that in my ears. Yeah, I've got the Infinity Stones. Right, Gary?
Hello, Gary.
So there we go.
Gary.
There would be, if I was in charge, there'd be a lot less people on this earth. They'd be made to go and live in China. Try getting away with that there. Although China's quite a nice place.
Here's what we need people to do. Because I'm going to have to wrap this up. But you're getting a slightly shorter Sunday roast.
Oh.
But a whole hour of Tuesday morning roast. Not only that, you're getting a positive COVID test.
Yes. Everyone's going to get COVID. Thank you.
Yeah, this is the order of, as of right now, of the prize drawings. A great suggestion from earlier in the chat, I think from Dublin Gooner to start pushing some of those drawings a little bit later to give more people more time to donate. I will most likely do that, as much as I don't want to do that, because I want like Lee Dixon to be on air when we pick the winner of his shirt. I want Kevin Campbell to be on air when we pick the winner of his shirt. So I might not change those, but please keep going back to goonersvcancer.com. At some point between now and the beginning of the show, it had best be working. And we'll get that fixed. But we're going to have Lee Dixon, Ian Dark, Simon Collins.
Never heard of him. That one doesn't
and,
contact me anymore.
Lovely, beautiful man. Sophie and Kev from the Highbury squad, Aston Mack, JJ Garcia, Ryan Rocastle. Then we've got the Sunday roast on Tuesday morning, or the Tuesday toast. We then start to sprinkle
Sunday roast leftovers.
Oh, that's perfect. Sunday roast leftovers. Paul, aka Pause from Arsenal Vision. We got Giant Gooner coming in, often does stuff on Arsenal Vision. Scott, aka the Crab Master.
The Crab Man.
Elliot actually will be joining during that 2 to 3 a.m. hour as well. Not Another Arsenal podcast taking over with me as their substitute fourth person. You can watch me probably falling asleep then.
As well as the audience.
Yeah, exactly. Summer tour retrospective. I'm putting together some videos of Baltimore and Orlando. Then we have the foul mouth but hilarious Arsbrog Max joining us from 6 to 7 a.m. on Tuesday. Fergus, Ruth Beck, Tom Canton, Kaya Kynak, James Benj, Andrew Allen, Arsblog, Amy Lawrence this year. I'm very excited to have back on. Danny Carbassioun, finally, after 6 years of trying to track him down, will be joining us from Greece. Lee Judges, Harry Simeo, Clive Palmer, Alan Smith, Dave Seeger, Perry Groves, probably FK, still confirming that.
He will cancel because that's the kind of man that he is. He'll let you down and won't even fucking tell you, and then he'll message you the next day and go, "Oh, I forgot." Scumbag.
Well,
good podcast though. Nice man. Scumbag.
And
doesn't contact me anymore either. I made that man. Well, technically he made APW, but
and yes, Andy wants to know if Chaz is coming on. He has an open invitation to come on as long as I am drunk, which I will not be on the show. So, I mean, that's a whole year's worth of guests on one show, people. And you're going to want to take out a mortgage, wait for my website to fix itself, and then spend everything on Gooners versus Cancer, because we're going to be giving away a ton of shit. And the earlier you get your money in, the better. But the Tuesday roast will be from 1 to 2 a.m. We'll talk about a lot more. We'll figure out what to call it. I'll try to do a new intro so that it's appropriate. And
don't do a new intro. You've got enough shit to sort out. Just about the photo of me chasing a fly. I think I found one on top of my ceiling, just sitting there.
And you can see on the outro that you're about to watch how Danny loves flies and loves fans.
Fucking hate them.
They fucking suck. So, Danny, anything else you want to say before I start damage control with this podcast?
What's the 2 TBAs? Why are they empty?
Because I am waiting on final confirmation from the people that'll be in those slots. So you never know.
Excellent.
I'm not saying it's Bukayo Saka, but I'm not saying it's not.
Not saying
not. I'm not gonna say who it is and who it isn't. But all I can say is I'm not actually saying that this is gonna happen. But
only a matter of time. There's Wasp Boy and the Traitor.
So Gooners Podcast, you never know what's going to come out of my mouth.
But you can have a bloody good guess.
Could be. All right. So is that good? Are we good?
That's very good.
All right. Then we shall end up by thanking you for joining us for tonight. And we will see you starting at 8 p.m. UK time on the Gooners Podcast. I even have special links to go to them. Part 1 is going to be on, I think it's podpart1.com. Thank you, Peter. And
original names.
Podpart1.com is where you go to see the beginning of it. And then just stay tuned from there. And that's it. This has been the Sunday Roast.
Thanks for watching the Sunday Roast.
Goodbye,
With
Roasties.
Mike and Danny. This is sometimes Mike, and this is Dan, and we have fun.
That's your feedback.
Here's Leno, and here's
get rid of
sexy
that.
Mike riding a horse.
The Danny in the background.
Danny
The
loves
unicorn.
junk food. We know he does. And Mike does
Both
tricks.
pressing buttons at the same time. For
We
fuck's
love
sake.
football.
I look quite good in that
I'm
one.
st-
Hate
Still sore
talking
from that.
about it. So we made this show. Why
Sebby,
you watch
sounds
it,
genius.
we don't know.
But it's fucking hard work. Get off me, you buzzy cunt.
Yeah. Now look at the lower left, Danny.
I am looking. I hate them.
Sunday Roast is a joint production of a Camp Wonderland
Good night,
and the
Roasties.
Gooners Podcast. Join us every Sunday night at 10 p.m. for all the entertainment you didn't know you wanted, but can't live without. Have a great week.